There we go. Hey guys, Fishy here, and it was time to go through another live troll hunt. Even though I'm not doing this on the Unfakery channel, I'm doing this on my own page because I want people who maybe don't usually come in contact with Unfakery content to see what I'm about to show you. What I was doing today, I was looking through one of the groups. I found some fakery here and there that I'm used to seeing, and it really struck me how many accounts that I'm seeing it from. It's pretty remarkable. I'm looking to see, what the sites are they're sharing, who's sharing them, how many different profiles, and it's pretty stunning what I'm seeing. Pretty darn crazy. So I want you to just take a few minutes with me today and look through this stuff. So I went to Donald J. Trump for the People group. It is a group that I monitor. It's one of several. And I may just go through different groups at different times just to show you that so many are the same. This is a very typical group based on what I've seen. I'm also going to pull in a particular spreadsheet. I'm going to add it to my my stuff here so that I can show you when I'm looking at this stuff where these particular profiles come from. So we'll get a look at some of that as well. If I can get them to sit right. All right. So here's the Donald J. Trump group, and here is Deepak Soni Saab talking about the Never Trump people pushing Meghan McCain to replace her father as senator. Just last week, it was Cindy McCain. I don't even know. But if I look up Deepak here in my spreadsheet and I find him here, he's from India and he's sharing things from the Columbus Post. Columbus Post is one of a whole network of Indian and Pakistani related fake sites. And I want people to see that. But it gets a lot of engagement. People are commenting. They are really believing that this is true, though I'm certain in the story there's nothing cited. Let's look at the next post. It's Miranda Emery Baca, and when I look up Miranda here, I will find her here sharing Donald Trump poll, and that's out of Kosovo. So she is, her profile is out of Kosovo, and Donald Trump poll is, should the U.S. military allow Muslim women to wear a hijab? Is that even a question that anyone on this planet is asking? Anyone at all? That's so bizarre. All right, I have to test and see. I'm asking everybody in the chat if the video is showing. I see a lot of people have joined and dropped out, but I don't see whether the video is working. On Facebook, it's showing that it's not, and that's really annoying. But I see people. Okay, Ethan, tell me. I see you there. Tell me, are you seeing? Okay, great. So it's not showing up for me, but it's showing up for you. That's perfect. That's what I want. I don't care if I see it or not. But to go back to the page, we're looking at, here's Miranda. We've seen she's out of Kosovo. We keep going on. People are engaging with this content. Miranda again, another one from the same site. Would you vote for Michelle Obama if she ran for president in 2020? Why is Kosovo worried about what Michelle Obama is going to do? Here's Mahdi Marty. And when we look on my spreadsheet at Mahdi, we'll find Mahdi down here, sharing from Phoenix Post out of Morocco. Now, isn't that curious? What does Morocco want with any of this? What does Morocco want with any involvement in the United States at all? But there we have it. Mahdi Marty is very interested. Now look, here somebody's actually calling out CNN fake news, but then there's other people saying fake news. Is that responding to the story? CNN fake news headline, CNN hints half of Trump voters regret support for Monster. Yeah, that's some clickbait right there. Everybody loves to hate CNN. And I bet if we checked that story, there's no reference. This one's up again. Should bacon be banned because it's offensive to Muslim? Miranda again. Yeah. So, what is the purpose of this other than to get people to click there? Miranda again, Muslim leaders. I swear all Muslims will leave the U.S. Um, here's Deep Kalsotra talking about Michelle um, Obama telling an audience she's a sex symbol. Um, does anyone, is this a question anybody cares about? No, but it's really good for um, getting some clickbait going. So, Phoenix Post is another one of those from the same family we saw above. And Deep is up here. Let's find out where Deep is from. I bet you can guess. Um, Deep is from India. Phoenix Post. When I'm looking at this, and I'll actually make this bigger so you could see it better. Sorry, I forgot to do that. And I forgot to do that on my unfakery page on the Facebook and make it larger too. Sorry about that. I really know to do that better, and I did not. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. My laptop has been acting up, and that's what's making it kind of hang up and get funky right now. But yeah, okay, once we get this screen back to normal, we'll go back. We looked at Deep. We're going to go back into finding more accounts. And I'm serious, I went so far down this page, it wasn't even funny to see how many. There were no people, virtually no people, from the United States as Americans who were sending information or contemplating information or posting information about politics. It was every one of them was from outside the U.S. Here's Zahir Abdullahu. Now, I know Zahir because I have tracked Zahir here. Zahir Abdullahu shares Sarah Huckabee Sanders and did share Law Enforcement Lives Matter, but that page was shut down just the other day. So yeah, Zahir also shared a Judge Janine page that got shut down. Zahir is very interested in pushing content to the United States to people who like Trump. And we showed you, where was Zahir from? Where did Zahir end up being from? You're going to never guess. Albanian comments on photos. This is a Kosovo profile. So Zahir is sharing content from Kosovo. Y'all sensing a theme here? Are you seeing something that's a little bit weird based on what we're looking at? Tony Punzi. I don't know who Tony is. This is not necessarily a baity thing. I'm going to skip it. That's probably a legitimate person. We're not going to go too far. Faisal John. Henry Winkler is dead, according to Faisal. So I've made a GIF of this and it'll release tomorrow, but you get a little preview if you watch tonight. Donates half of his estate to MAGA 2020. What even is that? Does anybody believe that? Does one person that's in this chat see that story and believe that this is true? Very likely not. Who's sharing it? Is it one of our old friends or is it someone new? Let's see. Faisal John. Faisal, we'll go back and look here because I know I've tracked Faisal. Faisal sharing out of Phoenix Post from Pakistan. Was that hard? Did you guess that right? I bet you did. Because this is who we're looking at. This is who's sharing content aimed at Americans from different countries. Muhammad Abdullahu. Can you guess, without even us looking it up, where Muhammad Abdullahu is from? We just saw another Abdullahu from Kosovo. This one is sharing content called Support Police Officers. We're going to look up this Abdullahu, Muhammad. We're going to put it in here. Let's see. I think this should show up. Muhammad Abdullahu. Oh, this is the wrong page. Sorry, that would be why. Muhammad Abdullahu. It should be all the way down the page. There it is. Support U.S. Police. Muhammad Abdullahu is from Kosovo. This is Albanian comments. Comments in Albania, that typically means Kosovo. So why are, again, they so interested in U.S. police issues? That's kind of like foreigners getting involved in making up fake Black Lives Matter pages, isn't it? Isn't it almost exactly the same thing? I think it is. Here's Miranda again with another Donald Trump poll. Something about him being a third term. Here's Dafina Osmani. Dafina is sharing this cute little video here from Animals World. And when I look at Animals World, which is further down here, Animals World, right here, I have Dafina and some friends there. They are Kosovo. Kosovo again. That's where that information is coming. You might think this little animal chewing a nice leaf or something like that, that's not harmful at all, right? That's adorable. Everybody loves to see stuff like that. But why? Why is Kosovo so interested in spamming Americans in Trump-related groups with that content? It's very interesting. Let's keep going. This, I don't even know who this person is because I can't say this name because it's in Urdu. Whatever the name is, it's in Urdu. I can't read it. Iran admits regime working with Soros organization. Is that true? I'm guessing no. But that name is in Urdu, and it's a Phoenix Post site, so I'm pretty sure where I'm going to find that. Phoenix Post up here. Scroll through here. Phoenix Post, there's the name, and it's India-Pakistan region. Again and again and again, and people don't realize that this is what's going on. This looks like an actual post from an American about European issues. That's an interesting thing. Here's another one. This may or may not be legitimate. I just scrolled past it. It wasn't what I was looking for. Could be legitimate. Georgia Design, another Donald Trump poll. When I look at the Donald Trump poll site up here where I've tracked it, there's several of them here. All of these, check out where these guys are. All of these, and this one from Ecuador, Mexico, Brazil, Kosovo, and Peru. There's an international something that's connecting these people to all share the same content at Americans in the same groups from these various places. This group is the only one I've seen that's actually used Central and South American people to get involved in it. Most all of it is Eastern European or Asian. So strange. Here's that same account again. Don't know who it is. Phoenix Post again from overseas. There's that post again. Yash Dev Singh. Now, where could a Singh be from? What do you want to bet? This is India. Congressman demands shocking investigation into shocking revelation about Obama. And it's Phoenix Post. And Yash Dev Singh, Phoenix Post. Yash Dev Singh is India. Of course that's India. Of course it is. Deep Kalsotro, we've seen that one again. Here's Phoenix Post. And here's that same one again. Keep them going. Keep them going. There's that same post again, getting spammed into this group several times. That's just weird. Manoj Kumar. Manoj Kumar here. Hillary sent this one email showing terrorists how to kill Ambassador Chris Stevens. Are you serious? This is what Americans are being fed. What do people think that the net effect of this is when somebody has been given content like this over and over? ColumbusPost.site. These guys out of India and Pakistan are feeding this to Americans every day. Every day. Multiple times a day. And it's all out of India and Pakistan. The worst fakery bait that you ever could see over things like this. Now, whatever you think of what happened over Benghazi, are you seriously going to tell people, make things up like this and get people riled in an election year? This is happening. Nobody's paying attention to that. Donald Trump is the best president, yes or no? And then we have a story under here. Trump's immigration plan, no more illegal immigration in America. Okay, that's not even very informative. It's just stating something. Here, should the military allow Muslim women to wear hijab again? That looks like an announcement for something, some show. Abdur Rahman, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner look disgusted as elites trash President Trump at McCain funeral. And then it says video. I bet you if I went to that site, there's not a video. Let's find out. I'm curious to see if they actually did it or if they copied that from somewhere else. All right, is it going to open? Let's see. In the meantime, while we're waiting, Phoenix Post, again, most of those Charlotte Post, Phoenix Post, all of these look the same. And as this page loads, I don't see any video there. I see some quotes. I see the title repeated. I see previous and next article, but it's still loading. The video may pop up. We'll come back to that in just a second while it loads. Continuing on, you need to know who is spamming Trump fans. People who support Trump are going to groups like this, and this is the content they're getting served to them from Pakistan, from India, and Facebook is doing nothing about it. And I'll tell you that they could very easily because they already have in other places. I'll show you in just a minute what they've done. Quram Khan. Trump just blindsided Muslims in bold move overnight. He's done. Okay, that's WDC POTUS.site. WDC probably stands for Washington, D.C., and then POTUS.site. And when we look at that one down here, we're getting back to Ivanka in a minute. WDC POTUS, way down here where I've tracked it. Every one of these, almost, is from somewhere different. Here's India, Slovakia, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Egypt, somewhere in the United Arab Emirates. I mean, this particular group has a whole bunch of people sharing it. And from all over the place. Again, I think there's an international network that's doing that. Here's Phoenix Post. Did they ever load that video? Did they show the video? They did not. I was exactly right. So they put that there so you would go, but there's no video at all on that page. That is just something else, isn't it? Don't you think? And every day, these guys get to spam content like this at Americans. You know people who go to these groups, even if you don't go there. If you don't need to talk politics among people that are like-minded with you in groups like this, you may not go there, but you know people who do, and people who get their information from this and who read these things, see these headlines go by, maybe sharing it without even clicking on the story, and they walk away with that impression in their head, and it builds up. It builds up. It builds up over and over. It's like water torture. It just continues to drip onto people's subconscious and into their brain, and it informs everything they're doing. And they're doing all this in an election year. I cannot stress that enough. We hear a lot about Russia. We hear about groups being taken down, pages being taken down, profiles being taken down. I've done my share of fighting profiles. I've gotten probably over 1,000 removed from Facebook this year. That's pretty impressive, but only for one person. Facebook has automated procedures that can do this overnight, and they haven't employed them. Not for these groups, not for these profiles, not for these people. Cops take a knee, then walk out on Redskins, leaving them stranded in their locker room. Now, this one says stranded in their locker room. There's another one down here later that says stranded in their locker room overnight. There it is, right here. Leaving them stranded in their locker room overnight. Those two from Charlotte Post, we've already talked about where those Asif Khan Pak comes from. We look up here at Charlotte Post, and we will see India, Pakistan, a little bit of Morocco, but most of it is India, Pakistan. And all these ones that are highlighted and remarked through, those are ones that have been thrown off Facebook. Those profiles have been shut down. And I have so many on this spreadsheet that have been shut down. But let me explain how Facebook could make those fakers have a harder time. There are some sites here that got shut down. I'm trying to find them, so bear with me while I tell you about it. The first ones I noticed that got shut down, and nope, they're still up top here. The sites got shut down on Facebook, but they are still active sites. You can still go there, but you cannot post on Facebook using those links. And it was Flash News, I think. I think I left this one up for a purpose. Flashnews.club. This site's been taken down. But if I take this and I try to post it in the comments of a post that I have, and I'll do that on the Unfakery page, and you can see what I'm talking about. When I go down, and let me just try to post it here. If I try to post the link here on the Unfakery page, watch what Facebook does. This is something everybody should know that goes on, that's possible. And you should ask yourself why Facebook isn't doing this for these other sites that I keep running into. Oh, I don't want to hit that. No, stop. Sorry. Again, the laptop is so slow right now. I've got 3 browsers open to do different things with, and it just takes a bit. All right, so we'll go here and we'll put a test on this post, if it'll ever open. Oh, my stars. I'm so sorry. Here we go. All right, so I'll say test, and then I'll put that site link. Flash News Club could not retrieve data from URL. Can't download. So Facebook actually shut it down. You cannot post flashclub.net anything. And I'll see if we can even do it in comments on a post that I've made before, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Facebook can say, we don't accept that URL to be posted on our site. We think it's dangerous. We think it's got bad content. We don't like it. You know, they have the ability to do this. And this is what it looks like. Okay, we saw Mr. T. Let's try to put that comment here with that link on it. If I do that and I hit enter, you can't post this link because it has a blocked link. The content of the page you're trying to share includes a link that our security system detected to be unsafe. Please remove this link to continue, etc. So that's what happens when you try to post a link from Flash News. And so the fakers that were running Flash News, that were running it out of, looks like Macedonia, they shut the site down. It's not operational anymore because they couldn't get it passed around on Facebook. And there was another one, it was Flash News, and another one that was in a different color, or the same color, I think, I don't remember. US, what was it? Oh, there's so many US somethings. USA Trump, USSA 1 News. I think this was the other one. It's the same formatted link. It looked the same way. Nope, it's back up. Look at that. Huh, strange. But I do know that Facebook has the ability to block those links. What if instead of all of this Charlotte Post stuff, instead of all the Phoenix Post stuff that we see, all this fakery, all this stuff out of these foreign profiles from overseas, what if Facebook just said that's an unsafe link? And as soon as they popped up another one, Facebook took that one down too. It's possible. It's easily possible. This is what they should be doing. But unfortunately, Facebook isn't doing it. They could end so much of this content being spammed at Americans from overseas. Where's Abdur Rahman from? Does it say when you hover over? Studied at Aligarh Muslim University, wherever that might be. My guess is Pakistan. But what was the first name? Abdur? Let's look up Abdur. and see where these guys are coming from. Abdur's from India. Yep. So why? Why are all those profiles doing this? There's got to be money in it for them. Whether they're getting ad revenue from the sites or whether they're getting it from somebody else who's encouraging them to post, giving them the content to post. These articles do not read as though they were written by people who are bad at English. So they've either been copied and pasted from somewhere else, or there are people who are very good at English who are writing the articles and then carrying them over from site to site to site. You'll see the same story attributed at different sites. Nobody ever puts their name on it. It's always an admin down here. And it's the same images or close to it. They'll just share the same thing. All these sites that I looked at, Phoenix Post, Charlotte Post, Tampa Post, Texas, all of these have this same template. They look exactly like this. So we know they're all related. We know they're all by the same people, but Facebook isn't dealing with it. I have so many reported profiles that Facebook isn't removing right now. And meanwhile, drip, 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 drip. This is what's getting fed to Americans in these groups like Donald J. Trump for the People. And there's a dozen or so sites that I look at, that I check regularly to see this content, to pull these names, to find out the new sites so that I can get ahead of this, so I can get ahead of what the fakery is. This is an old one. FBI informant just pulled out a piece of paper on live TV that made Hillary Clinton shiver in fear. How do you know? How do you know? You do not. It is just made up. Oh my stars. This week's column that I've written on Little Bites News is about how you check for fake news. And it's something I want people to share around. When it comes out, maybe I'll add it to the comments on this particular video so people can find it again. But all of this fakery, these things, it's breeding division. It's sowing division into the United States. Rosie's busted in campaign finance scheme, claims insanity, hoping to skip prison. This is probably from a legitimate story where she's managed to mess up how she did campaign contributions. But that's what it looks like. As she's hoping to skip prison, there's your real baity thing, and it's right out of India. Again, here's another one. After a reporter falsely accuses Trump of crimes, Sarah Huckabee destroys both Mueller and the reporter. Yep. Zahir Abdullahu again, trying to pitch us some more Sarah Huckabee Sanders, wearing a t-shirt somebody's got for sale, I'm sure. Kaku Singh, Trump just responded to everyone who bashed him at McCain's funeral with words they'll never forget. Really? Really? This is what it's like. This is what it's like. And these are places that people go to interact with like-minded people. And instead, what they're getting is fed a bunch of confirmation bias, a bunch of gotcha, gimme, getting mine politics. Politics for the last 3 years has been somewhat like a Yamama contest where everything is geared to one-upsmanship, where anybody who's kind of getting their sick burn on is really all that they're interested in. And I see Daniel says, I don't think it's bringing division into the U.S. It's exposing and explaining a division that's already there. This is true to a degree, but people who are not fed this stuff, a steady diet of this stuff, tend to burn out of that kind of serious division. But when it's continually reinforced, I think it gets worse. And I've pulled myself almost entirely out of political activism at all because this is where I think I can make a better impact for people in a thing that folks can agree. This is fake. These are people from overseas that are spamming Americans with this content, and we need to talk about it. We need to see that Facebook is dealing with it. We know Facebook can. They're just choosing not to. And why would we want this sort of thing? Why would we want this sort of thing targeting Americans from overseas? Is that not just as bad, just as, I guess, invasive in American politics as Russians building fake sites? I think it is. I think it is. And I think that if this were done by Americans, we'd have a much harder case saying, look, this is bad. This is something, this would be American expression. And it very well could be that there are Americans who do share these sentiments, but they don't create them the way that these guys create them. And they probably, now that they've been shown how successful it can be, would begin to create this stuff. The problem is that, yes, we are seeking confirmation bias all the time. It's a human condition, I think. But what we have here is the part where the technology and the platforms are actually having an effect of driving people into these groups, driving them into these ghettos, these ideological ghettos, where these kind of sentiments are shoved at them from people overseas. And if we're going to talk about Russians interfering in an election, we need to talk about this and how this in an election year is also not good. Whenever I've talked about this being in an election year, I think Facebook has been more responsive. So I just wanted you to be able to see what's going on, what kind of things that Facebook is allowing to be posted over and over again, aimed at Americans with no regard for what they're taking in. And I don't think anybody in India or Pakistan cares what this does to the American people, having, Trump supporters taking a steady diet of this. But I'll bet you if people that were told and were understand, if there was a label here that said the Phoenix Post is a site run out of India, and if they were told Deepak Kalsotra, in parentheses, were told that he's from India, it might be a little bit more information that would help. Some people, they're just interacting with the content, and I get that, and I understand it. God, this guy's from Africa. I think he's Nigeria, but he's sharing some of the same content. They've sort of recruited some other people to push this out with their profiles. But I think if we had those labels, it would help some people. And that's why I've done some of the things that I've done in putting, the labels of where the fakers are from on some of the gifts that I've made. I think it helps people to see there's something weird going on when Macedonia is trying to tell you that Mr. T is dead and left his fortune to the Donald Trump Foundation. And that's a thing that actually was posted in one of these groups. And it looked like this. We saw this earlier. This is what I did to try to make people look. I included the link for this Charles guy to see his profile, and I gave the link to StockScan so people can go look him up and see for themselves that he's Macedonian, sharing this fakery from this fight into American-related groups, Trump-related American groups. And maybe that kind of thing helps people to see, to be a little more skeptical. I don't know. That's the whole mission that I have here, is to get people more skeptical. And if this is the way that it has to be done, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just asking people to help me with that mission. Share videos like this, things that I'm creating to show people. You don't know. Look how many people from other countries are shoving this content at Americans. It's one after the other from overseas, from India, from Pakistan, from Kosovo, from Macedonia. Amazingly, the Philippines seem to have been taken offline for a while. But several weeks ago, the Philippines had this kind of coverage in these groups where one after the other were all just Philippine accounts sharing fakery that they made up on their blogs, and that was it. I mean, you couldn't find any Americans anywhere. So anyway, thank you guys for being with me today. I appreciate you coming along for the ride and looking at some of these things. I really need more people to see. I need more people to see what's going on, what we could do about it, have that conversation. I need more people to like the Unfakery page and just support the work that we're doing. There's no money involved, even though I was accused of making bank today on Twitter by somebody who didn't like it. But we need a bigger audience so we can get more pressure put on Facebook, so we can get more people informed about what's going on. And that's where you come in. If you don't like the Unfakery page, please go do that right now. If you haven't shared any of our content, please do that. Try to do that at least a couple times a week and help more people see what we're dealing with here. I don't think anybody else is talking about this, and that worries me. That worries me. I should not be the only one putting out content like this that people can see. So thanks for coming along for the ride, for digging into all this craziness, and for basically just being supporters of Unfakery. I appreciate it. Thanks, and go share this and show other people.